Bryson has become one of Leander's most sought after master plan communities. It's not just because of the homes, it's the lifestyle. Walking trails, a resort style pool, fishing ponds, parks, community events, and quick access to 183A all come together to create a community where people actually spend time outside to get to know their neighbors. Now, let's go see if this home delivers on what it's promised. So Bryson Place is a relatively newer community here in Leander, Texas, just off 183A. It's got easy access to all the major employers, including Firefly, and it's a resort style community. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, it has uh, all the amenities that you'd want in an HOA, where you have the ability to kind of live and play in the same general area. So this is a very open floor plan. You have your study right off the front of the house, which is very common in these homes that are built in the, this is built in 2022. It's gently lived in. It's got the vinyl plank flooring, very common. This is probably the original builder paint. So like I said, this is very gently lived in. I don't see a lot of marks or otherwise. I would imagine no pets, maybe gently lived in, which is great for the next owner. So like I said, this is a very open living floor plan. You have a very generous area for the living area. And again, another generous area for dining with your kitchen over there. So you've got the quartz countertops with the white, which in 2022, that was all we were doing. And in 2022, I know we were starting to transition away from the gray floors to the more brown neutrals, which I'm glad this one did. It doesn't date the house as much as like the super gray floors. This way in the house, you have your other bedrooms. So you have one, and they're pretty well spaced, which I kind of like. So, like I said, Bryson is a master plan community. It is off of 183A, and we are the most, probably in this particular spot, the most east you're going to be. So you're pretty far away from the high, within the context of the development. The furthest you're going to be from 183A. So there's really no road noise from 183. And Bryson is kind of situated on a topography where you have some ups and downs, which you're going to see in the backyard. So if this house isn't the fit, then you probably might have something that could be in a different location. This is your secondary bath, very standard tile up through where the fixtures are at with the double sink under mount and the quartz. So they went up with a lighter quartz here. The kitchen is a dark gray. And this is your other second bedroom. So you have an office and 3 bedrooms. The closets are the same. They do the swing outdoors instead of the accordion. This is in Leander ISD. So this is a Leander home in Leander ISD. It's a 2,000 square foot property. They have this listed at 4 bedrooms. It's really a 3 bedroom and a study. So in our MLS now, we have the ability to delineate offices. Can you use that up front as a bedroom? Totally can. It's nothing saying you can't. I would say for statistics, I would call this a 3 bedroom. I would definitely, the people that I'm showing homes to would say this is clearly a 3 bedroom with an office, not the other way around. And some people really need 4 bedrooms, and that's why I say some people really need 4 bedrooms, and some people really need 3 bedrooms with an office. And that's why it's really good when you're saying clarification on the rooms of how you're going to be using them when you're working with a real estate agent, because that will help me find what you're looking for. So this is all very standard fare for what I would see built in 2022. And we're going to take a look at the backyard. It's going to explain some of the topography in Bryson Place. I'm going to call it something else. So you can see it here. I'll show you in the garage. Where's the garage? In the garage, you're going to see that you have stairs. So you have 2 stairs down. So you have all that space above that you can use for storage. You got your water loop over there. So that means that there's an elevation change. And just take a look at how much, it's like 2 feet of concrete. That's your foundation drop, right? To be flush with the outside. So if you go take a look at the backyard, this house basically is the bottom of a small hill. You can see above you, houses. So Bryson is kind of like this throughout, where you have these elevation, what I call elevation changes. They're not mountains by any means, but there are elevation changes that if you're sensitive, you need to make sure you can't tell this on a lot looking down on Google. The only way you're able to tell this is walking through it. So they have a small deck that they added that's got the stucco on the back. So overall, a good condition. And this is offered right now at $354,900, which is a good entry point to Bryson. Like I said, it's Leander ISD schools. The MLS has this feeding to Gym Plains, we think Danielson, and Glenn. If I were a homeowner, I would check that to make sure nothing's been reassigned. Sometimes it doesn't get updated into the multiple listing service. And so that is 1240 Sweet Spire. It's a lovely little home. If you like this content, hit subscribe. If you like this content, leave a comment. If you want to see this in person, because it's ready to go for the next buyer, send me a text and I will get you set up for the next available appointment. This is a great entry point into Bryson. It's got everything that you're going to need with regards to shopping and in the community events. And love to be able to work with you. And until next time, to the next tour.